January 9th. 2024, a pivotal moment in international diplomacy, unfolded as Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov of Russia and his counterpart from the Islamic Republic of Iran, Hossein Amir-Abdollahian, engaged in a detailed telephone conversation. Initiated by Iran, this diplomatic dialogue occurred against a backdrop of escalating geopolitical tensions and complex global challenges, signaling a profound moment in the dynamics of international relations. This conversation, indicative of the shifting geopolitical landscape, was not just a routine exchange. It's likely to have covered a spectrum of critical issues, including the evolving situation in the Middle East, potential avenues for conflict resolution, and strategies for promoting regional stability. The ministers likely explored a range of topics extending beyond the usual diplomatic discourse, delving into their mutual suspicion towards the United States' role in the conflicts across the Red Sea and the broader Middle East. Understand the roots of this suspicion, it is essential to delve into the historical context of the region. The Middle East, a melting pot of cultures, religions, and politics, has long been a focal point of global strategic interests. The involvement of external powers, primarily the United States, has often been viewed through a lens of skepticism by regional players. This perspective is shaped by past interventions and complicated power dynamics that characterize international relations. Welcome back. Another interesting chapter of our channel, Inventive Insights, makes you discover the unfolding narrative of China's inventive ventures and expanding impact across various global regions. If you're exploring our channel for the first time and have an interest in the dynamic progression of China's evolution, and increasing cloud art content will surely captivate you. Please subscribe, like, and comment. In this video, we disclose potential U.S. strategy behind actions against Houthis in the Red Sea. At the heart of these discussions lies the intricate and often opaque nature of international diplomacy. The Middle East, with its rich resources, strategic location, and complex political landscape, presents a chessboard where global powers frequently engage in covert and overt maneuvers to secure their interests. These maneuvers are often clouded in secrecy, leading to a breeding ground for suspicion and mistrust. Both Russia and Iran have historically viewed the actions of the United States in the region through a prism of caution. They speculate that the U.S. might be pursuing goals beyond its publicly stated objective. This suspicion could stem from various factors, including past military interventions, economic sanctions, and diplomatic maneuvers by the U.S. that have significantly impacted the region. From the perspective of the United States, its involvement in the Middle East has often been framed within the context of promoting stability, combating terrorism, and ensuring the free flow of resources. However, this narrative is frequently contested by regional powers like Russia and Iran, who perceive these actions as a facade for deeper geopolitical ambitions. In the conversation between the Russian and Iranian foreign ministers signifies a deeper alignment of interests against a common perceived adversary. This alignment could have significant implications for the balance of power in the region. So a key focus of the conversation would have likely been the ongoing conflicts in Syria, Yemen, and Iraq. Both Russia and Iran have vested interests in these regions, and their strategy towards these conflicts often contrasts with that of the United States. Energy and economic sanction. The ministers might have discussed strategies to circumvent U.S.-led economic sanctions, which have significantly impacted both countries. Cooperation in the energy sector as a tool to counter these sanctions could have been a crucial point of discussion. Russia and Iran might have explored avenues for deepening military cooperation. This could include arms trade, joint military exercises, and intelligence sharing aimed at countering U.S. influence in the region. The conversation would likely have included discussions on aligning their diplomatic strategies in international forums like the United Nations to counter U.S. resolutions and policies that are perceived as antagonistic to their interests. Amidst these discussions, a significant development took place in the United Nations Security Council. The United States tabled a resolution condemning the series of attacks orchestrated by Houthi rebels in Yemen on ships navigating the Red Sea. This move by the U.S. highlights its strategic interest in safeguarding maritime routes that are crucial for global trade. The Red Sea is a vital waterway connecting the Arabian and Mediterranean seas, facilitating a significant portion of the world's maritime trade. The recent attacks by Houthi rebels, believed to be backed by Iran, have raised international concerns over the safety and security of this crucial maritime route. The resolution by the U.S. calls for an immediate cessation of Houthi attacks, emphasizing their detrimental impact on global trade and regional stability. It reflects the broader U.S. strategy to maintain its influence in the region by ensuring the unimpeded flow of maritime traffic through strategic waterways. Economic ramifications of the conflict, attacks on shipping routes in the Red Sea have significant economic implications. With the disruption of a major maritime artery, there is a potential ripple effect on global trade. The longer routes now being taken by many ships around Africa's Cape of Good Hope increase transit times and fuel costs, potentially leading to higher prices for goods worldwide. This shift has raised alarms among global trade and shipping industries, concerned about the efficiency and reliability of their logistics chains. The ongoing conflict in the Red Sea region underscores the fragile nature of regional stability. The conversation between Ministers Lavrov and Amir-Abdollahian likely touched on strategies to address this instability, which directly affects their nation's interests. Discussions might have included coordinated responses or proposals for regional peace initiative, emphasizing the need for a multilateral approach to resolving these conflicts. The Houthi rebels, known formally as Ansar Allah, have claimed responsibility for the attacks, framing them as a response to Israeli policies and actions in the region, particularly regarding the Palestinian issue. This ideological stance ties the conflict in the Red Sea to the broader geopolitical narrative of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, adding layers of complexity to any potential resolution. Conversation between Russia and Iran, set against the backdrop of U.S. diplomatic moves in the region, highlights the shifting alliances and power dynamics in the Middle East. These shifts are part of a larger global realignment, with major powers like Russia and China increasingly challenging U.S. dominance in various regions. The role of international organizations, the United Nations and other international bodies, are key platforms for these diplomatic contests. The resolution proposed by the U.S. and the Security Council is just one example of how global powers use these forums to advance their strategic interests and shape international responses to regional conflicts. Looking ahead, several scenarios could unfold, depending on the actions of the key players involved. These include a potential escalation of conflicts in the region, increased diplomatic negotiations to resolve long-standing issues, or a continued stalemate with periodic flare-ups of violence. The role of external powers, including the US, Russia, and Iran, will be critical in shaping these outcomes. The conversation between the Russian and Iranian foreign ministers on January 9, 2024, is a microcosm of the larger geopolitical chess game being played out in the Middle East. It reflects the deep-seated suspicions and strategic calculations of regional and global powers. The interplay between these powers, set against the backdrop of conflict in the Red Sea and other hotspots in the region, will continue to shape the future of international relations and global stability. As the situation evolves, it will be essential to monitor the responses of key players, the impact on global trade and security, and the potential for diplomatic resolutions to long-standing conflicts. The international community's ability to navigate these complex dynamics will determine the trajectory of peace and stability in one of the world's most strategically significant regions. Iran and Russia, though aligned in certain aspects, have distinct strategic interests. Iran's primary focus is on countering Saudi and American influence in the region, and supporting Shia groups in various Middle Eastern countries. So, on the other hand, seeks to extend its geopolitical influence and counter Western dominance, using its involvement in the Middle East as a leverage point. The United States faces the challenge of balancing its support for allies like Israel and Saudi Arabia while managing its own strategic interests in the region. This involves navigating complex issues such as oil supply security, counterterrorism efforts, and the containment of Iranian influence. The role of emerging powers such as China and non-state actors, including terrorist organizations and regional militias, cannot be overlooked. China's growing economic interests in the region through initiatives like the Belt and Road have significant geopolitical implications. Similarly, non-state actors, often backed by state powers, play a crucial role in the region's security dynamics. Critical to much of the Middle East unrest is the ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The conversation between Lavrov and Amir-Abdollahian likely touched upon this issue, considering its impact on regional stability. They might have discussed possible solutions or strategies to leverage this conflict in their broader geopolitical gamesmanship. The economic dimensions, including the control of oil resources, trade routes like the Red Sea, and the impact of sanctions, are critical components of this geopolitical puzzle. Discussions between Russia and Iran would have included strategies to mitigate the impact of Western sanctions and find alternative economic alliances. The humanitarian crisis resulting from these conflicts is another crucial aspect. The toll of wars in Syria, Yemen, and Iraq, in terms of human suffering and displacement, requires international attention. This element, while often secondary in geopolitical strategizing, is a vital consideration for the international community and non-governmental organizations. Looking forward, diplomatic efforts will likely intensify to resolve these complex issues. This could involve direct negotiations between conflicting parties, mediation by international bodies, or new alliances forming to address specific issues like the Houthi attacks in the Red Sea. The role of technology in modern warfare, including cyber warfare, drone technology, and advanced missile systems, is a game changer. These technologies are not only accessible to state actors, but also to non-state actors, altering the traditional landscape of military power and conflict. Environmental issues, particularly those related to oil production and water resources, are becoming increasingly significant. Conflicts and policies in the Middle East have direct implications for environmental sustainability, an aspect that is gaining attention in global discussions. To wrapping up this extensive analysis, it is clear that the Middle East remains a complex tapestry of intersecting interests, conflicts, and potential flashpoints. The conversation between the foreign ministers of Russia and Iran is a snapshot of this ongoing geopolitical drama. As the world continues to witness these unfolding events, the need for informed and nuanced understanding of these issues becomes ever more critical. The future of the region hinges on a delicate balance of power, diplomatic acumen, and the ability to address not just the strategic interests of state actors, but also the humanitarian and environmental implications of these long-standing conflicts. The international community must remain vigilant, adaptable, and proactive in its approach to ensuring stability and peace in one of the world's most volatile and strategically important regions. Thank you for your attention. And I welcome your thoughts and questions on this complex and vital subject. If you want to watch more videos like this, please subscribe, like and share the video to get exclusive videos about how phenomenally China is developing and growing its influence.